James Ferguson Reynolds has some room. Low line drive. Bellin has the catch and a great opportunity to return it, and he does to the 30, to the 20. Bellin up the sideline. Bellin dives. He's in. Touchdown, UTEP.
Marcus Bellin with the 47-yard critical punt return there as UTEP defeats Boise State on the road. That call courtesy of CBS Sports Network, and a big win for UTEP, getting that second win. Still a path to the bowl game is very much possible for them. But Boise State, though, just a brutal 27-10 home loss. Andy Avalos, the head coach, he made some changes. They weren't going to stand pat after this one, and he explained one of those moves a little bit earlier this week during his press conference.
I just want to start off today's press conference. Obviously, this is a new week, but there was a lot to be learned from last week, and that starts with me making sure that our team's ready to go in every opportunity, every situation that we are in. I've been able to learn a lot here in the beginning of this season. I've been able to learn a lot day by day, and through all the experiences, I've grown to have excitement about our program, our team, and mainly, it's our players, it's their care factor, it's how they understand and know that our goal is still right in front of us. They know that our opportunity to accomplish what we set out to do is still right in front of us. Yesterday, we obviously had to make a tough decision with our offensive coordinator position. I love Tim Plow. I'm very grateful for his friendship, our time together. But it was just a time that we needed to make a change with the leadership of our offense. Ultimately, all three phases, everything underneath this roof is my responsibility. And I take that with great pride, great gratitude for being in the position I'm in. It is ultimately my responsibility to put this program in the best position possible. Again, I'm very thankful for Tim Plow and the time he has spent here, the energy, the dedication he's put in. But moving forward, Dirk Cutter will be our offensive coordinator and also coach our quarterbacks. It provides us an opportunity to reorganize our process, create rhythm for our offensive staff, in turn our offensive players. We're very excited about our offensive guys. We know that they're very capable. We've seen them do it. We just have not done it consistently.
So Dirk Cutter takes over the offensive coordinator reins at Boise State, and Tim Plow is, plowed out of there. But a very capable coach, though, is Plow. Certainly had success at UC Davis, Northern Arizona before then. I feel pretty good about him landing on his feet. But on the other side is the head coach of UTEP, and that's Dana Dimel, one of my favorites in the coaching profession. And he joins us now. And Coach, talk about that performance. You guys go into Boise and come out of there with a 27-10 victory. How about the resiliency of your squad?
Yeah, really pleased with the effort that we put forth in that game. We played so well in all three segments of the game, and that's so important as a head coach that you can have your team do that. And obviously we didn't feel like we played well the week before, against a team that we felt like, we should have a good opportunity to beat, a team that's much improved, but still disappointed in our effort there. And to come back and play, a high-level Mountain West program like Boise, and obviously, an old WAC opponent for UTEP. It was really a neat victory for all of our guys, but it was expected from me. We have a good football team, and we had a lot of expectations at the beginning of the year, and I think our guys have finally relaxed, and now we just need to get on a good run.
And I was super impressed by your junior quarterback, Gavin Hardison. You didn't ask him to do a ton in this game, but it seemed like every time you needed him to come up with a big play, he was there moving the sticks.
Yeah, he is the most selfless quarterback that I've ever coached. He's one of those guys that he doesn't care if he throws for 300 or throws for 100, as long as the team wins. And I know that sounds a little bit cliche-ish, but it's not. It's not a cliche with this guy. He just loves his team, and he just cares about winning. And he knows the most important thing for him and his teammates is to win games. And so Gavin played outstanding, 10 of 11, and the only pass that was incomplete, he got hit right when he was throwing. It just bumped enough, and the receiver was wide open. So he had a really, really good, efficient game.
I've been really fascinated with your team the last, couple of seasons. It seems like they really embrace the underdog role, whether that's at the individual level, the team level, but certainly seems like when there's a big challenge ahead of them, much like this game, they like to step up and just kind of play with a little bit of an edge that, maybe the rest of the college football world doesn't see coming.
Yeah, they are. We've been blessed to recruit some really fine players, but, obviously some of them were guys that were, just guys that you had to do a really good job of evaluating, and guys that maybe didn't have, all those high-level offers, but they ended up being really good players. And because of that, they obviously do, play with a chip on their shoulder and play with an edge, especially when they have the opportunity to play a team with such high national recognition as Boise. And so, again, for our guys, that have chose to stay here and play when they could go lots of other places and play, really, really excited about that for them, and really well-deserved and happy for them to get it. Because, Brian, this was a win, a really nostalgic win for this program, one of the best wins that it's had in many, many years for non-conference play.
It seems like less patience is being shown for head football coaches more and more every year. I mean, this year we've already had 3 let go in the month of September. I know when you started this job, you made it pretty clear that there may be a couple of rough seasons, and there were for you, but it's got to feel pretty good, your relationship, I think, with the UTEP's administration in terms of, how they believed in you, and they stuck through those couple of rough seasons, and now it's really paid off.
Yeah, it's been nice. It's been one that, when I took the job, Jim Center and I had a long conversation. I said, Jim, obviously this is, this program's at a spot where it's going to take a system and an ideology to do things the way they need to be done, and so it's going to take some time to get it right. And so Jim and I had an agreement, and I was really pleased that he was willing to do that for us, to agree, and he knew it would take time to be able to do it the right way, and we've definitely changed the whole culture and the whole talent level of this program. We've been blessed, though, Brian. I mean, it's nothing more than a blessing. Very humble for the success, very humble for this win last weekend, and just a blessing. But because I'm just excited for these players that have chose to come to UTEP and make a commitment to this program, and been able to allow us to put a bunch of good players out on the field. So that's what I'm most blessed to have in this program, and I'm very proud of these players and what they're able to accomplish.
And can you talk a little bit about just how academics has played such a key part of this program? I've talked to you in the past, and you mentioned about how that was a little bit of a struggle for you in the classroom early in high school, but you're able to kind of channel that and make that a top focus to achieve for yourself. Now you're certainly putting out quality individuals, student athletes on and off the field.
It really is. It's we had at the end of spring, the end of summer school, we had a 2.98 overall GPA, and the highest one in the last 20 years at UTEP was 2.73, and that was us last year. And then we came back and popped it up to a 2.98 this year. And so, it's a lot of the things that we did, at my time at Kansas State, where we tried to really have the good quality student athletes, because we feel like they can be the guys that can be trusted and be accountable on the field because they care about their schoolwork and they care about performing well for their families in the classroom.
So there's a number of players on your roster that I think will have an opportunity to play football, beyond UTEP. And this show takes on a focus of the NFL draft, and also the guys who will have opportunities to get training camp invites and so forth come January. And I'm curious about 2 of your players. We could ask about a few more, but Tyrese Knight, a linebacker from Lakeland, Florida, Had 7 tackles, including the big tackle for loss and the win against Boise. Tell us a little bit more about Tyrese.
He is, guys, he's the salt of the earth. He's such a sweet guy, and he plays with such intensity, and he's a really good student. But you talk about, I don't know if I've ever heard Tyrese ever raise his voice or get mad or anything. I mean, just one of the nicest young guys you're ever going to want to coach, but he plays the game with ferocity and a ton of passion. And we found him at Independence Community College, and I was tiptoeing around the day I was there to see Tyrese. There was actually 3 Division I head coaches in the building at the same time, which how unusual is that at any type of school. And Coach Gundy was there, and Coach Helton was there, and myself all at one time, and we were all looking at different guys. But I was trying to tiptoe around, making sure that nobody knew we were there to look at Tyrese. And we knew we kind of felt like he was going to be really special for us. And so he's definitely got the ability to play at the highest level. That's for sure.
And you have one gentleman showing up on the Senior Bowl watch list, Shrine Bowl watch list. Tell us a little bit more about defensive end Praise Amahuli.
Yeah, Praise, when we recruited him out of high school, he has an 82-inch wingspan. And so we said, a guy like this with this kind of levers that can play and run the way he plays, once he grows into his body, we feel like he's going to be a really special player for us, and he's definitely done that. He had school record. I think it was 12 and a half sacks 2 years ago as a school record that he set. And then last year, our other defensive end, Jadrian Taylor, tied that school record. But Praise is just, so twitchy and again, great student and a really, really nice young man. And we had recruited a player at Wyoming named Patrick Chukwara who was from Dallas and was of Nigerian descent, just like Praise is, and we gave him number 23 at Wyoming, and he went on to play 8 to 10 years in the NFL. And so when we got Praise, we gave him the same jersey number, thinking that he was going to emulate Patrick, and so we're hoping that he's able to have that same kind of success that Patrick was able to have.
And finally, Coach, what's it going to take to keep this thing going? Now that you got a couple of wins, how do you keep the momentum going against Charlotte?
Always been tough to win all the way across the country in our conference, always a real difficult task to fly all that way and have your team settled and ready to play a game. And of course, they got a tremendous quarterback. I think he's in his 12th year, Brian, there at Charlotte. He's been there forever. We've had to face him, and he's been a task every year that we've had to face him. We didn't play him last year, which was fortunate that we didn't have to face him, but we have to face him one more time. And so they got a lot of good receivers, and him as quarterback, so their passing game's really a difficult thing for us to defend. And they're got a new system on defense that they're getting a good feel for, but they're a very athletic team. Really enjoy going to play in Charlotte. It's a beautiful stadium, a beautiful setting there that they have at that campus. So they've done a really nice job of not rejuvenating, but actually, invigorating that program as they've raised it up to be a Division I football program.
Well, that's head coach Dana Dimel from UTEP. Coach, so much appreciate your time. Always love talking to you. Hope to catch up with you again soon.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks for spending time with me. I appreciate it.
So just ahead on the show, we have our Heisman Hopefuls. Who's rising, who's falling? Couple new names on the list this week, and also then our top 12 gets revealed. That's all ahead. It's College Football Weekly here on SportsMap Radio.